for the first time ever, like what are the chances, do you think, of the Chiefs going 0-3, having to go into the Meadowlands? All right, we are back in the saddle, live broadcasting to you. NFL Week 3 on deck for us, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2 weeks in the books already, and here we are, boys. Just a sad, pathetic state of affairs. Anywhere from 3 to 5 backup quarterbacks already slated to get time, and we're only in week 3. It is just borderline depressing, but look at that sad, sorry sack of quarterbacks right there. Jesus. Those guys, maybe Mariota might be the exception. I think the Jaden Daniels situation is questionable for how he's going to, whether
Tyrod Taylor's the truth, man. What are you talking about?
I guess, man. I guess.
But people don't talk about that. That's a conspiracy theory against Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's 9/11, then Tyrod Taylor.
In that order, right? Yeah. So week 3, here we are. We got anywhere from 3 to 5. The backup quarterbacks already slated to get time due to either serious, in the case of like Joe Burrow, for example, or minor concussion related, maybe like for Justin Fields or Jaden Daniels, got a bum knee that might keep him out a week. So already quarterback carousels are in the works, man. But hey, where there is uncertainty and where there is change, there is opportunity as well. So keep that in mind. Don't be afraid of the uncertainty. But we got games to break down, boys and girls. As NFL Week 3, there's a lot of good matchups this weekend as well. So gonna talk about some of those marquee ones. Gonna talk about some best bets and edges, and obviously we will be going through our model plays as well. So let's kick it off, and let's get into one of the matchups that we'll break down here. So NFC West showdown. Cardinals versus the 49ers. Battle of a couple of 2-0 teams. Arizona, for what it's worth, opened as a slight favorite, both at Circa and Bookmaker. Now they're 2.5-point dogs almost throughout the market. And this is assuming, or at least up to this point, that Mac Jones has been going to start. There was some scuttlebutt today in the news, Seth, that Purdy has a chance to play now. So we'll see if it's just gamesmanship or what happens there. So obviously the Purdy uncertainty is a key factor in this one. And from what the numbers bear out and what our data is showing us, Seth, from my vantage point, Arizona is just a lucky 2-0 team. Like, they don't deserve to be 2-2, basically, or 2-0, basically. And the market again is they're selling Arizona at this point, 2-0. So should they be selling? Are we sellers?
We agree with this move from the wrong team being favored at open to now the right team being favored, even with McCorkle Jones starting there. So I'm with you. And obviously we were personally victimized by the Arizona Cardinals last week, being on the -6.5. So I want to really see nothing but bad things for the Arizona Cardinals. And I think this is a really good move. But Kyler is a slightly better quarterback than Mac Jones. So I do want to be fair there. So I could see a little bit of hesitation that this number is not going to go through the 3 and get to -3 San Francisco with the current quarterback situation. But if Purdy starts, yes, I do think it'll continue to go through the 3.
Sure.
Echo rate is where I think on a drive level, Arizona does stand out. They do seem to have pretty good drives, but we saw it in that Carolina game. They don't finish their drives. So they get to the 40 or better, but they're not getting points. So I think that's, for me, where the Cardinals look on paper like they have, some good drives, and they do, but they just don't pay them off the touchdowns. And I think that's one of the struggles here. And San Francisco's defense is better, right? San Francisco is the number 18th overall defense versus the 22nd defense in Arizona. So I think Mac Jones can have success here. He had success against a pretty okay Saints defense. So
sure,
I don't see why he can't do it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and Steve, to that point, he had relative success, but they were intentional about coming out and throwing the ball. He had 34, 39 pass attempts in that game. And now coming into this one against Arizona, a battered up secondary. They already lost 2 starters before the season, lost 2 more, not for the season, but 2 more that are going to be out for this coming matchup, most likely. So pretty thin on the back end there. So market again is favoring San Francisco here. Should we alt season this? Is anyone in favor of alt seasoning?
Ooh, man. No. Yeah, you're coming with the
raw
today.
What's the raw model? What's the raw
-2?
Just -2? And that's assuming Mac Jones, correct?
That's assuming Mac Jones.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, I mean,
no alt season for me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I fucking Debbie Downer over here for Kevin, man. Like this the end of the world. Big 12's over. You know, these teams suck. Man, Kevin, you were on one today. Yeah, I mean, listen, as excited as I am for Return of the Mac, or as Seth would say, calling by his government name, Return of the McCorkle. This is going to be an interesting matchup, and I think it's going to come down to scheme and can Arizona or San Francisco really stick to what they need to do to expose this weakness. I mean, Kev, you talked about it already. Garrett Williams, Max Melton, Will Johnson, all these DBs are going to be out. And so can this be a day for, Ricky Pearsall coming back, Jawan Jennings? Can they actually feast here with Mac Jones at the helm here? And then for San Francisco on the defensive end, backtrack here, for Arizona, for all the stuff we've been talking about, they've sneakily been pretty good on defense. 7th best EPA per rush allowed. If we pull back up, the main card here, you can see here overall 8th in defensive EPA. And so, but let's give credit where credit is due. And I mentioned that because the run game for San Francisco really has not gotten going. For all the things we talked about, with CMC being there, they really haven't been able to do that. And so if Arizona can keep this sort of drive going, like stopping the run here, and putting it on Mac Jones to win the game, put it on his back, it's going to come down to, can he do that? I mean, we've talked about the career EPAs and trying to objectively see how good this quarterback drop off or quarterback difference is going to be from starter to backup. And you're definitely getting a huge drop off from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones if Jones does play. To be fair, that's not really all on Mac Jones. Brock Purdy has spent his career living in kind of this island by himself in terms of pure efficiency. But all that being said, it is still a drop-off here. And so if you are San Francisco, you're going to have to scheme up ways to either stop Arizona's really good run defense or scheme up for ways for Mac Jones to take advantage of all these injuries in the Cardinals secondary. And that's going to have to be the way you win this game. Now, I will say we don't really talk about it a lot on this show, but special teams, I think we have to talk about this because 49ers have been absolutely tortured, haunted, any word you want to use, by Jake Moody over the last season. He's officially been cut. So I'll be interested to see how the kicking game works for them, and can that keep them in the games. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's alt season. I think the 49ers have a reasonable way forward here, but it should be a tight game through and through.
Yeah, nowhere to go but up, special teams wise, for the Niners. Getting addition by subtraction, right? with the Jake Moody release.
Oh, yeah.
They were tortured by him for sure, no doubt about it. But go Niners. So I mean, we don't have an opinion on this, from a betting standpoint officially. But yeah, I think this is a fake 2-0 team. So, and the market is, like I said, moving that way already. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. But should be it's NFC West showdown. So these teams know each other inside and outside. So it should be a dogfight either way. Another NFC showdown though. Let's keep on moving down the slate, guys. We got the LA Rams going up against the Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, in this one. So market movement wise, this opened at 4 at bookmaker, 5 at Pinnacle. There's been a little bit of movement towards LA. Now they're mostly favored. Philly, that is, about by 3.5 here. So Seth, I don't know. I have a similar opinion, or at least like the eye test. Talk me off the ledge of Philly being a completely different team than they were last year. My thesis on this one is that the market is just holding on to too many priors from them from last season, and they're not really updating and adjusting based on what they've put through 2 weeks of the season here. So I spoiler alert, I like the Rams in this one a lot, honestly.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if you had a peek at our database. We use a 15-game rolling sample, which means we're using 13 games, I guess, from last year. And the Rams are almost better in every single category than the Eagles. But yet our model likes the Eagles. And the answer is they just don't have Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, in his kind of short career, he's been clutch. He gets a lot of hate because he doesn't do it in this sexy way. They do it in this very grinding way. But when on paper, he does have, a lot of covers and a lot of wins. Yeah. Obviously a Super Bowl. So you're right on paper. And when you look at most of the raw statistics, yeah, the Eagles are the Rams are better. So I can't talk you off the ledge. I will point this out to you though. Remember that the Eagles were not this world beater last season. They really came alive in that last stretch of the regular season and then
Yeah,
into the
that's true.
playoffs. And that's where they kind of caught fire. And I don't know, dare I say they caught Kansas City in some weird situation. We're going to talk about them in a little bit, but I don't know that the priors are wrong as much as is this team just reverting to who they were last year. They were really only good in this, like, I don't know, 6-game sample, the most important 6-game sample to be good in. But if you look at the whole season, they actually weren't these world beaters.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense. But yes, Steve, I don't know if you feel the same way about it too. But yeah, to Seth's point, like you look at the totality, kind of the aggregate of how we're capturing the data, and yeah, these teams are not all that different.
Yeah, yeah, and they get the job done. You know, I mean, to Seth's point, I mean, I know we see a lot of Jalen, you know, trash talk around the league because he doesn't get it done in the prototypical, you know, quarterback way, a la Mahomes or you know, and kind of throwing the ball over. But he does what he has to do to move the chains and win the game. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard that Chris Jones quote, like, "Man, you didn't even get over, you know, 100 yards. Yeah, we won the game. You know, shut your ass up."
Yeah,
Right? And that's true.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
that is the perfect embodiment of who the Philadelphia Eagles are and who they have been. You know, for this one for me though, I'm with you, Kev. I do like how the Rams are playing. What back injury for Matthew Stafford? I mean, knock on wood, but dude has been looking really good here.
Yeah,
Devontae. I mean, I know. Nothing. Seth hates nothing more in the world than 30-plus-year-old receivers or old receivers, old-timey receivers here. And but Devontae's having a revitalized career, looking like a new man, along with Puka Nacua out there in LA. I mean, this team is just efficient, right? I mean, we talk about their overall EPA per play here. You see, they're 7th in offensive EPA, but they're top 5 in pass. So this is a team that's able to move the ball. Now we're going to see what happens here, you know, with that Jalen Carter rush, things like that for the Eagles front, because that's where the Eagles specialize. But I mean, the Rams look like they're starting to click on all cylinders. The one thing I do want to look out for this game is, I don't know if you guys been seeing this, but I've been seeing all over my social media about people calling out people being, you know, former players, you know, social media influencers in the sports world about the false start nature of the tush push, about how you have these folks, and they had like the clips from the
or lining up offsides, that type of thing.
They're lining in neutral zone, they're getting false starts, and I'm wondering if the league is going to call that out. So hey, be sure to look at this, because if you take the tush push away, we talk about success rates, we talk about being able to convert on 3rd and 4th downs, obviously a big part of what Philly does. If you take that away, I'm very curious to see how they adjust here. But regardless of that, I do like the Rams. I think they're on the upstroke here. But I mean, to me, Philly's the new KC. It's like, yeah, they don't look good, and I want to bet against them, but they just keep getting it done. So we'll see.
Yeah. As far as Matthew Stafford goes, right, with the back issue, Toradol's a hell of a drug, right? Whatever the hell they're shooting him up with, man, like that shit, it's working. It's working early go.
Steroids.
So, yeah, whatever, man.
Offensive echo rate for Philly, 38% of their drives get to the 40 or better.
Yeah, yuck. That's not. Yeah. That does not.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I can't talk you off the ledge. You want to go Rams 3.5? I think the market's right. I think you're probably right here.
I'm on Rams money line. That's
okay. I mean, the thing is, I feel like this is just our raw model number is 5.5. We make Philly, and it's literally just because Jalen Hurts just finds unconventional ways to win. And I think some of the stats also are misleading because they'll have an explosive, they'll scheme up well, they'll have a good drive, and then they kind of want to sit on that. And then their game plan is around protecting that lead. And so, yeah, the stats kind of suffer because they're winning in their own way, and they have the strategy around it, and it doesn't look sexy, but it was clearly effective.
I'm just not buying what they're selling yet, so we'll see what how the game plays out. So, all right, should be a fun one nonetheless. I mean, two good teams, and I just like McVay doubtful to roam in the sidelines. You're tearing his plantar fasciitis or whatever the hell he did. You know, that's wild, man. It's rough. Shout out. All right, don't forget.
Shout out producer Eric. I'm over under McVay crash outs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what that prop market will look like.
Exactly right. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like the video while you're here. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button on our channel as well. You'll have those notifications for when we go live, talking about our angles, talking about the games, marquee matchups coming up, talking about our numbers and our data and our model predictions as well. So we got a couple more to break down before we get to some of the good stuff, which is, of course, our models and our best bets later in the show here. But let's talk about the surprising 0-2 matchup, perhaps coming into week 3 here. The 0-2 Chiefs going up against the maybe expected 0-2 Giants at this point. But yes, the Chiefs and we had a interesting discussion last week, if anyone heard it, and we talked about Mahomes always being inevitable, right? Normally, historically speaking, and then should we be talking about is Mahomes inevitably going to regress? And this team at least is really not passing the eye test at the very least, right? And some of the numbers that are kind of behind it, I mean, yes, they're on the offensive side, they're injured or they got guys out, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy now, etc. Travis Kelce looks like he's 45, not 35 out there. But and then the Giants, yeah, Steve, for what it's worth, like putting up they put up a good fight last week against Dallas. That was obviously a crazy shootout game. They got kind of dog walked in week 1 against Washington. So I'm not sure how to pinpoint this team yet, but first time ever, like what are the chances, you think, of the Chiefs going 0-3 having to go into the Meadowlands?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. We'll see how things going through. I mean, yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, we talked about this, and I don't know if it's really that surprising. Let's give ourselves credit here in this podcast, and we called this out on week 1. We talked about last year the Chiefs' defense has not been what it has been in years past, and years past you can get through because your offense was good enough, but that was going to be kind of you need both things to really click here. And this year we're seeing it. I mean, the defense, we saw it against the Chargers in week 1 in Brazil. They got absolutely gashed on the pass, and we're seeing more. It rears ugly head again. And so for me, let's call it the obvious. You mentioned it, no Rashee Rice, no Xavier Worthy, although he is day to day, he's limited at practice. He may be back this week. But when you look at things, I think for me, the telltale sign of like, oh, the Chiefs' time may be ending here. If you look at just this season, I know it's young here, but an EPA pass per play, the Giants actually outrank the Chiefs. The Giants are 15th, the Chiefs are 22nd going into this season. So, this is one of those things where it's like, man, it sucks to say out loud, but yeah. And I think 2 things are here. I think the Chiefs aren't nearly as bad. They won't be this bad the rest of the season, right? I think you're catching the Chiefs at a low point here. And I do think the Giants are better than what they're getting credit for because how historically bad they have been. But it's one of those things to keep an eye out on. And this is something that, again, it's going back to schematic. It's the schemes here. If you're New York, yes, I get the whole thing with Russell Wilson. Can he really be the one here? Do you start Jackson Dart at some point? But you look at what they did against Dallas. I mean, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. This is passer rated 123. I mean, that was by far his best game in years. If you get even a glimpse of that, if you're New York against this weak secondary of the Kansas City Chiefs, New York has an absolute chance to win this game here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that this is going to be a blowout one way or the other. I don't see the Chiefs coming in here, even though I think they may be the better team, kind of spanking the Giants like some people expect. I do see this being a 1-score game, and I do see the Giants having a non-zero chance of pulling this out outright.
Ooh, all right.
Call me
damn,
crazy.
maybe set Doug Steve off the ledge. Damn, goddamn.
Well, yeah, we have a model, and it likes Kansas City minus 7.5, 8. So I mean, I think we're playing it there, but I mean, it has a cause concern. But I only have 1 data point for you. Well, I guess 2. But more important, we talked about the Kansas City troubles on defense. Russ is here to help us. In our database, in the last 10 games, Russell is the 32nd out of 32nd starting quarterbacks, and that's including all of the backups that you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Kevin. So in the last 10 games, Russell is the worst quarterback in our sample. So hopefully he can help a brother out and give us a turnover or 2. And that should help things. The other thing is the key 0-3 start. This is a team that has the aspirations to win a Super Bowl. This is a team that has done it time in and time out. And, the probability of making the playoffs if you go 0-3 is astronomically low. So I think this is at top of mind for both teams, but Kansas City is playing for a true playoff spot. And I agree that maybe this is a buy low spot. And hopefully we get some injury news that bounces our way. We get some receivers to, step up in this game. Yeah, it's not sexy, but I do think there's value here for Kansas City. It's probably the lowest spot you're going to get to buy against a bottom tier team. This is one of the worst forecasted team. It was them in New Orleans, right, at 5.5 wins, or 5.5 or 4.5 wins. So, yeah, I don't know. This is the time. You get to buy Mahomes and see what you get. But what I'm really worried about is, do you have the defense that can win a 2-possession game? Can you cover by 10? It's not unfathomable that the Chiefs win this game to me by a field goal, right? In 1-possession game, Mahomes knows how to do that. It's that, sure. Do you actually have the defense where you can actually stop Russ? Russ was able to sling the thing last week. So we'll see.
Yes. Yeah. This will be a good nightcap because this is a Sunday night game as well. So it'll be, everyone's eyes will be on.
Which is wild. Who scheduled that? The Giants were not going to be good, especially at week 3. That's interesting. I'm just. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So you kind of look at juxtaposing, his early career with kind of his more recent performance, 23 through 25 there. Yeah. I mean, box score stats, descriptive stats, not great, but yeah. And career wise, Mahomes is the number 1 EPA quarterback in our database, and Russell is the number 7. So maybe Russell plays more like he has in his career, but in the last 10 games, Mahomes is 8th and Russell's 32nd. So yeah, that ain't great.
Not good, right? Breaking news, not good. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Hey, Sunday night. Those matchups. Dude, the Giants, yes, to your point. Okay, they're 0-2. Should have been 1-1, quote unquote. Should have been, right, but they're at least not a complete dog shit team that I think many expected. If Russell stays healthy, yeah, but they put up 37 points.
That's going to be that's really concerning. How Kansas City is going to hold them to 2 possessions? It's concerning.
Yeah. So, well, that's, you mentioned it, but spoiler, we're on this one officially. We'll talk about it later in the show, but yeah, it should be Sunday Night Football. We'll see what happens. All right. That's the Sunday slate, though. We got another game to talk about for Monday Night Football. This one should be just fireworks, right? Lions and the Ravens. I'm expecting nothing but fireworks. This is the highest game total, highest implied total of the week. 53.5 is the market price right now for the over-under. There's some 52s out there, 52.5s as well out there. But yeah, this one, Seth, just sign me up, dude. Just give me the popcorn. Just fucking, I'm just gonna lay on my couch. I'm not moving a muscle for 2.5 hours because I am just gonna be an uber fan on this one. If you want to have a focus on a core element, particular game script situation, what is it? What do you have your eye on for this one other than just enjoying the show?
Yeah, enjoying the show. Quarterback play, number 4 in our database. Lamar going up against number 2 in Goff. So really good quarterback play, which usually always ends up being a really great game from what we see. Both these teams are run first. So I think we're going to continue to see that. So I think the total's high here, but I wonder if it just looks like a slugfest, if we just see a kind of a tit-for-tat run game. Kind of similar to what we saw against the Ravens and the Browns, but Detroit can just do it better. They can fight back a little bit better. So 28th in run rate over expected in Baltimore or 28th for Detroit and 20th for Baltimore. So I think there's going to be a lot of running the ball, but these teams are very evenly matched. Now, that being said, our raw model number, ignoring the market, makes Baltimore -5, which is basically right where the market is. So we think the market's got this right. I don't know. Our total here has this number at 54. So, on the other side of that key number of 52.5, we don't show a ton of value there, but I don't know. I really don't have a lot here other than my question is, how good is Green Bay? Because based off what we saw, it's how good is Green Bay or how bad is the Bears? And I don't know. And I think we're going to get data here. And I have to say, we were on Baltimore last week.
Yeah.
That was a lackluster effort. Nobody in that stadium wanted to be there, even the fans. The Ravens just were kind of going along with it. But so I'm concerned, if you're a Baltimore fan, losing that game in the fashion you did week 1.
Yeah,
the effort last week the energy was just not there. I don't know. It just seems to be something there where there's smoke, there's fire. So we'll see what we're going to get out of this Detroit team. They seem to be reinvigorated after week 2.
They do, yeah. And Steve, to that point further, yeah, Detroit, our number 2 rated team, Baltimore, our number 4 rated team. And same exact goes for the quarterbacks. Goff over the last 10, over the last 10 starts is our number 2 quarterback, and Lamar is the number 4 as well. So I guess maybe you have an opinion on that, or how, with respect to the Detroit Lions question, beat the shit out of the Bears, right? So how bad are the Bears, and how bad are Green Bay, or how good is Green Bay, excuse me, so who do you think 2 weeks in we have a better sense of who this team truly is? Is it the Ravens or is it the Lions?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've seen Green Bay be dominant for 2 weeks in a row here. I mean, remember we talked about, oh man, is it the Ben Johnson after effect between Jared Goff and not being able to have that offensive rhythm, and then he goes 23 for 28 for 334 yards and 5 tutties. So yeah, I think the offense is okay. I think it's just the Bears defense is just absolute dog shit. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great matchup to watch. I mean, like you guys have already mentioned, this is going to be whose strength can really work out here, who can win off. I mean, for Detroit, and you're really looking to carry that momentum going forward. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown's coming off a hat trick, scoring 3 touchdowns, against the Bears here. Can he continue to have that going and be that sort of elite wideout for Goff there? And then on the ground game, we've all talked about what Gibbs can do and how explosive he can be with that 1-2 punch with Montgomery. And so for me, I'm looking at this as, which of these 2 quarterbacks can stay clean, right? We know Lamar has that added protection of being able to be an elite scrambler. And so the one thing that we did see, if you're Baltimore, kind of the game script is you saw Green Bay really dominate that offensive line, especially in the interior. The Lions tackles have been pretty decent. They kept Goff clean all day against the Bears here, but that interior really struggled against Green Bay. And so if Baltimore can really ratchet up the pressure, kind of get some schemes to get to Goff, we know he's not really a mobile quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. That can be enough to really disrupt that timing. And Baltimore is just a well-oiled machine when it comes down to running the ball effectively, getting 3-4 yards, getting those conversions, getting the success rate there. So that to me is going to be the make or break. Can you get to Goff? If you do, Baltimore is going to win this game pretty easily.
Yeah. And I was just looking too at some of our team data, which again, you can see for free on our website, btb-analytics.com. Head over to our NFL team data. You see a lot of the metrics that go into our models, some of the play-by-play stuff. We have definitions for some of these statistics as well across the top, because some of them are a little more nuanced. And frankly, we choose, these are not random in a sense. We choose these specifically because we found that they are predictive, right? So that's why we track them. That's why we have them there up on our website. So going back to the offensive side of the offensive side for both of these teams here, echo rate over expected for both of these teams. Detroit at 65% already through 2 weeks, and Baltimore not far below at 59%. And to your point, Seth, like side by side, these teams are just very, very similar. It's gonna be a good matchup. What has the market done in this one? I don't even know if it's moved a bunch or not.
I don't think it has.
Yeah, so 4.5 currently. Looks like they're out. FanDuel's got a 5.5. Circa, excuse me. What does Circa do? So Circa opened at 6 actually in favor of Baltimore. So a little bit of buying towards the Lions here. 6.5 opened at Pinnacle, and now back moving down to 5. So a little bit of movement, but we'll see if there's some buyback here towards the end of the week. So should be, I mean, that's a great way to end the weekend here. Monday Night Football game on this one. So a lot going on this week. A lot of big matchups, a lot of unexpected matchups, like in the vein of the Chiefs and the Giants game, with the Chiefs being 0-2 here. So should be good. Should be a fun weekend ahead. Again, want to remind you guys, we're going to be talking about some model plays at the end here. Don't forget to like the video, please, and make sure you have those notifications on after you're subscribed. You'll know when we go live, and you'll have all the sort of all the angles and all the data that we're trying to break down ahead of the weekend in real time. But let's talk about it. So one more thing before we get to our model predictions. Again, some fun that we're having and tracking throughout the season. Did it most of last year, continuing it into this year. Off the numbers, best bets of the week for us individually. 2 weeks in, Steve, you and I 1-1 top the leaderboards right now. Seth, with the unfortunate push week, was that the first week I think you pushed?
That was the first week, yeah.
Yeah, so 0-1 coming into week 3 here. So all good. The season is young. The season is young indeed. So I'll kick it. I mean, I kind of already spoiled it already. So I'll just start with mine and then Seth, I want to get yours, but I'm on Rams money line plus 160 ESPN bets or 365 is where you can get that. Again, we talked about all the reasons earlier. It's just not. I'm just not buying what Philly's selling yet, and I think the market and just holding on to too many of the priors here. So I like the Rams to go into Philly. Go Birds, or not go Bird. What did they say? Fly Eagles fly, right? Is what they say.
Yeah,
No,
they say go Birds. Shoot.
Oh, they do. You're right. They do say go Birds. I was thinking
Go Birds!
Yeah, yep. No. But I think McVay, Stafford, and Co. They walk away with the dub here going into Philly.
Damn.
So plus
In
160
Philly.
money line is what I got. Yeah, it is.
Sheesh.
I know. All right. Oh, Mr. 0-1-1. What you
Oh,
got?
1-1 for me. Pass funnels are open, baby. We do have some data for the first time, and the Raiders. They are the archetypical, just right smack dab archetype pass funnel team. Give me the Commanders. I don't care if it's Mariota. I don't care if it's Daniels. I'll obviously take Daniels, but I don't think it matters here. I think they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're going to throw the ball no matter what. So give me the Commanders. I think it's at -4, -3.5, 4. Mariota is, I think, projected to 3.5. Yeah, give me 3.5. Yeah, give me 3.5.
Yeah, plus 100 at a couple joints. Yeah. Caesars, ESPN bet.
Give it to me.
Shout out. Give it to me, baby. All right. -3.5. Commanders. Jot you down for even money on that one. Good for you. Good for you. All right, Steve, take us home. What you got, man? 1-on-1 so far.
I got to be honest. There was a hard decision because I looked long and hard at that Cowboys -1.5 over Chicago because Chicago the defense is absolute trash so far. The offense can't get going, but I can't do it to myself because we spend so much of this podcast talking shit about the Cowboys, and I'm a Bears fan. In my heart of hearts, I couldn't do it. So I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna go to the AFC West. I'm gonna take the Chargers -2.5, -115 over the Broncos here. Number one EPA pass per play team this season, LA Chargers. Who would have thunk? Not I. Right. And they've been doing it and doing it well here. And so I'm taking this over a Denver Broncos team. Yes, I think they're going to be competitive. Don't get me wrong, but at -2.5, that's a field goal game against this team. I think this just looks too good. I know I do want to call out the Khalil Mack injury that we saw here. So I want to see how their defense bounce back. Obviously a big part of their defense, but I mean, LA just looks so good, man. They're one of those teams where, Seth, I mean, you mentioned this before. We talk about having the 15-game rolling sample and, having these teams adjust. This is one of the teams, if Harbaugh keeps this up in terms of not just the passing efficiency, but the pass rate over expected, I think it may be a while before we truly objectively realize how good this team is or how efficient this team can be through the air versus what we think. And so I'm just curious to see. I'm buying high. I'm an early adopter. Give me -2.5.
But they're number one in offensive success rate in our database, even with last season's data. So they're basically playing like they should, and they just
like
kind
they
of
should
not
have, probably.
Yeah, they were just kind of were disappointing last year. So yeah, I like it 2.5.
Yes, sir.
What a time to be alive, right?
Finally figured out how to call a forward pass. Oh, shut up,
dude. He's like
better late than never. Huh?
He's like, oh, you click X, he's just clicking X again and again, and it's working.
It is. It is indeed. So.
The question then is, I mean, I think it's both, right? I think the Chargers are a good passing team, but how bad are the Raiders? And I think we're going to get some data this week, but I mean, they are a pole position of the game plan variance and the pass funnel, and newly added to the website for all the members. So if you want to go check out the pass funnel for defense as well as the game plan variance for offenses, that's now been added, so you can target all those matchups this weekend.
Yes, takes notes mentally. Going to be looking at some prop angles as well come this weekend. So props aren't up yet for the most part, but yeah, that is where some also exploitable angles using
Tampa
that
Bay
stuff.
is the other one. So unfortunately, I don't think the Jets. Unfortunately, this week is kind of the worst first week because 2 injured quarterbacks. So it's like, how much are they going to throw?
Sure.
But Washington is like the archetype. They throw the shit out of the ball, and you're going up against pass funnel.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we got some good plays for off the numbers this week. So excited to see how it goes. But all right, boys, we rolled through the games. We rolled through off the numbers. We got one bit left to do. Let's do it. All right, so you know the drill. You know what the history has done for us. We've been hitting 55% in the NFL over the past couple of years. 2 weeks in, not quite there. We're 4-5 overall. Had a down week last week. Had to scrape one play off the board because of an injury situation, and then had a couple of just unfortunate rolls, of things last week. But
Oh, you think the Cardinals shit the bed? Is that what you're alluding to? I wanted them to lose at that point. I mean, when they
I did too. I did too.
Like, just do it to me.
I think I'm still salty. That's why I was like, I'm hardcore selling against the Niners this week. But yeah, so I had a couple of bad breaks, a couple of bad beats, but all good. The process is still the same, right? 4-5 heading into week 3. Do not have any concerns long term with it. You're going to have winning weeks. You're going to have losing weeks. It's all good, boys. So we trek and we move on. We know the process is sound. So let's get to it. So 2 official ones on the card this week, Seth. So pretty easy peasy. What do we got?
One of them I love. Green Bay Packers -8.5. Love the spot. And Chiefs -6. I must have got those mixed up earlier than when I was talking. I was switching. I was saying the Chiefs 2 possessions, but we really get the Chiefs 1 possession.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, I actually love this week then. Chiefs. Packers bet. I don't know. It makes me feel sharp, which is usually the worst thing because we usually lose these ones.
Yeah.
But the Chargers and the Packers look like the best 2 teams in the NFL.
This is the most disgusting, dirty week for me because I'm with you. The Packers it feels so right, but it feels so wrong.
Well, yeah, I don't know if this happened today. I got a peek here, but we're largely at 7.5 in the market.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All good.
Yeah. We're still relatively.
Market was buying Jets all week too.
Yeah. fair
Last
point.
week.
That is very true. Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true. But yeah, Kansas City -6, Green Bay -8.5 are the official plays.
What are the Chiefs? What's that game doing? Is that moved at all?
The Chiefs game? The Chiefs game, not really. A couple of
5.5,
6.5s. Actually, a couple 6.5s at some of the rec books, but largely
What about a circa? I think I saw 6.5 today, or did I make that up?
You definitely made it up today. It was yesterday 6.5.
Oh, okay.
Today's been at 6.
So a little bit of buying. That means there was a little bit of buying in Kansas City, and then bought back. I mixed those up. So sorry. So disregard all what I was saying. I was getting those 2 picks mixed up in my head. Yeah, 1 possession, Kansas City. That seems doable. I mean, I get it. That defense, they're gonna have to do something, but it's a 1 possession game. We're gonna, we got to hold. So, and Green Bay just looks. I do think we got both those at -105 though. So
we did, and price is king, baby. Price matters. So. All right, small card, but nonetheless exciting weekend ahead. From a matchup and fan standpoint, and 2 plays looking to hope roll into the weekend, roll into week 4 after 2-0 week. So, death taxes and weekly BTB NFL show. We will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't already, remember, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in joining our season-long package, which we still have tons of value to offer, still early in the season. Consider joining our monthly and or season-long packages. We still have some discount codes available. If you use BTB10, you'll get 10% off the season-long package as well. So looking forward to it, boys. It's going to be a fun weekend. We will catch you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. Good luck. We'll see you.